EO Exchange event. We are so excited to continue to learn about the opportunities to grow and expand all of our businesses today by nearshoring high performance employees. What a cool term. I love that. And it is hard to believe that this is our 24th installment in the EO Exchange series. So as always, remember, our last 15 minutes, we're going to place you guys in a small group with some thoughtful prompts to get the conversation started. So thank you for sticking around for that. We also have time set aside for Q&A. So as any questions pop up, go ahead and put them in the chat and we'll have a time set aside to do some Q&A. We are excited to have two of our newest strategic alliance partners, Erica Pichardo-Lay and Adrian Romero with Capitaworks, to share with us ways to scale up our business by leveraging global talent. Our chapter is so fortunate to have strategic alliance partners that meet the ever-growing list of needs of all of us entrepreneurs and people that are here and willing to share their expertise and their organizations with us. A little bit about them. Adrian is a serial entrepreneur who owns 8 companies and leads a team of more than 450 people throughout the US and Latin America. He is an EOer from San Diego chapter and an SAP for 11 chapters throughout the US and Mexico. He splits his time equally between his hometown of Tijuana and San Diego. And Erica is the head of client relations at Capitaworks, a trusted source for high-performing virtual assistants in Mexico. She graduated from Fordham University with a dual degree in political science and economics. Thank you for sharing your time with us this morning. And I will turn the time over to you, Erica.
Thank you, Brandon, for that wonderful intro. I am going to share my screen if that's all right with all of you. And thumbs up, can everybody see? Okay, wonderful. So just a little bit more on Adrian, although, you already did a great job at introducing him. So he is an EO San Diego member, and like we said in the beginning, we now sponsor 10 US chapters and the Mexico chapter. He's also the founder and major contributor to local charity organizations, and Fundación Esperanza Contigo delivers high quality education, telemedicine, and other services to over 200 orphans in Baja California. I will get right into it. So let's talk about a hot topic, the talent shortage. So obviously COVID is reshaping in-demand skills, and 69% of employers are having difficulty filling jobs. Organizations expect 69% of employees to be back in the workplace full-time, making it harder to find suitable people that are looking for full-time remote jobs. And really, following the pandemic, skills like resilience, collaboration, and accountability are more important than ever. Some factors contributing to talent shortage are baby boomers are retiring, and there's not enough talent to fill the void. There's certainly a change in needs and expectations. In the EY 2021 Work Reimagined Employee Survey, more than half of employees surveyed globally would consider leaving their job post-pandemic if they're not provided some form of flexibility in where and when they work. So according to Forbes, attracting and retaining skilled workers has rarely been more challenging, as 54% of companies globally report talent shortages, the highest in over a decade. By 2030, Korn Ferry estimates that the global talent shortage could reach 85.2 million people, resulting in the loss of trillions of dollars in economic opportunity for companies. So here's a graphic that can better help see the talent shortage by company size. Adrian, would you like to add something to this part of it?
Yeah, sure. So hi, everybody. So basically, the as you can see here on screen, this is a graph about provided by Manpower just a couple of months ago. And in the US specifically, depending on the size of your business, that's how big the void is for talent right now. So basically, companies are struggling to cover a third of their workforce. So most of EOers, we own businesses from 10 to 250 employees. I would say that's the main average. So probably we are suffering from anywhere from 30 to 36% regarding where to find talent. I mean, there's not enough talent available. People don't want to work. People, because of the pandemic, they now think that they want to pursue other passions. They don't want to work enough or too many hours. Or the talent that's available, as you know, it's getting more and more expensive. So as business owners, we're looking for new ways, or not new, but because of the pandemic, now we're open in the US to hiring people from all over the world, and many employees are surely in other cities or other states. So I think that in terms of cultural affinity, business owners in the US, specifically EOers, are now looking at other solutions that maybe they haven't considered before. So that's it. Back to you, Erika.
Wonderful. So these are some of the in-demand roles by country. These are specifically in the US. So definitely operations and logistics, manufacturing and production, front office, customer facing, admin and office support, sales, marketing, IT, and HR. Basically everything you need for your company to run smoothly.
Yeah, and that's very accurate, because most of the clients that we work with, which is 90% EO members, the positions that we get requested every single day are basically from number 3 to number 7. Client facing roles, a lot of marketing roles. I would say that's like 60% of our requests. So usually when you think of a BA, you're thinking of an executive assistant to do admin work or scheduling and stuff like that. But in reality, the term BA has really shifted into just any type of remote employee. So we still use BA because everybody understands that a BA is an employee that's outside of the country. But the roles, the needs and the requests have changed a lot. Now we're getting a lot of input for finding customer service reps, or content creators, copywriters. There's all that you can see on screen. Obviously, we cannot provide a VA that's based, in Tijuana, for example, to do manufacturing, because we have a lot of, what we call maquiladoras, manufacturing sites in Tijuana. But, anywhere from customer facing to admin to all of that, accounting clerks, paralegals, all of that is now being hired throughout the world, regardless of, geographic location and borders and all of that.
Yeah. Definitely. So just adding to the talent shortage, in just the month of August, 4.3 million Americans quit their jobs. That's the highest number in 1 month ever recorded by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. How long exactly will this talent shortage last? So according to Forbes, this talent shortage may last another 5 years. It could last more. And really, the only thing to do now is change the way you care for your current talent and change the way you supply your talent. So some ways to overcome the talent shortage. Of course, nurturing your existing talent. Are they happy? Evaluate your culture. We're at a war with talent, so make sure you look at your culture, since this is the first thing candidates look at before they apply. Review Glassdoor, Indeed, Google, even Yelp reviews. Is it good? Is it bad? Reinvent your training. Think really quality talent loves learning opportunities. So offer certifications that will attract the audience that you are looking for. Create some sort of referral program, not only for your current superstars, but also for clients. They recommend someone and it's a win-win for everybody. The last option is nearshoring. So open up the opportunities to a nearby country and grow very quickly. Now, why is the people component critical? So obviously people are essential to produce the final product or service of whatever your business specializes in. The people in your company are crucial in the success or failure of your business because they are ultimately the first client of any company. If your employees are not happy and satisfied, they won't deliver. If you take care of your employees, they will take care of the clients. And really, your clients will judge the value of doing business with you by the experience they have with your people. And at the end of the day, your people are the face of any organization. So these are some of the reasons that we touched upon earlier and Adrian mentioned. So right now, why is it so difficult to scale the people component? There's definitely a fear of uncertainty and change. Like we said, the talent shortage is terrible. It's incredibly expensive. Quality talent is very expensive now. The industry needs are changing. The quit and want to quit rates are increasing. There's workforce burnout and depression. Obviously, extended unemployment and other benefits by the government. And organizations expect 70% of employees to be back working in person full time, causing fear of infection, or simply, employees now want flexibility. And I would say the most important is tax and legal compliance is truly a pain, and the risk of getting sued is not ideal. Adrian, is there anything you'd want to add to these reasons?
No, I mean, well, I don't know how many of you are running your companies on like EOS or scaling up or any of those systems. I know EOS pretty well because I became the first one in Mexico doing that. And usually as a business owner, we're really typically looking out for ways to handle our finances, our money, the taxes, the compliance, and all of that. Or we're just really busy trying to get new clients and expanding and growing. But it's very like easy when you hear like, oh, let's just figure out the people component, have all the right people in the right seats. I mean, that sounds easy, but once you're doing it, it's actually really hard. I mean, personally, I don't know about you, but personally, I think that the people component, yes, it's the most critical one, but it's also the hardest one to really manage. I mean, just managing people, it's really an art. So we have to find ways to get good talent, to keep them. I don't say retain talent. I think it's about nurturing talent, which is different. But we also, as business owners, we cannot be increasing our prices to our clients every single day because minimum wage went up or things like that. So we need to find good talent that's less expensive. So Capitaworks started with me running a US business, and then I need more help. I cannot afford to be hiring more people. In California, liabilities are through the roofs. Minimum wage goes up every single year. So I started hiring through my own entity in Tijuana, and that's the way I was saving a lot of money and putting that money into benefits for my superstars or to marketing resources so I can keep growing. And that's how Capitaworks really became a business, and we started offering that same service to other business owners. So that's it, Eric.
Yeah, so long story short, stop limiting yourself to local talent. It is time to go global. So some things that are often misunderstood or confused or not necessarily defined properly are the differences between staffing solutions. I will put it that way. So there's outsourcing and insourcing. So of course, outsourcing is hiring a third party that's not affiliated with the company to complete a specific task. So here's usually when you use an outside company and costs tend to be less. They're more flexible in the type of activities, and it's sometimes good for early stage businesses. Now, compared to insourcing is performed within the operational infrastructure of the company, and you're using the resources already owned by the company. Some advantages of this are quality control, innovation, adaptability, intellectual property control, and fast delivery of a project. Now, we have offshoring and nearshoring. So offshoring is, Offshoring is usually overseas, so a virtual assistant is working the opposite schedule as yours. Labor is cheap, so the VA is usually working with more than one client without your knowledge. VAs get really no legal benefits nor security, leading to a high turnover. And since the VAs are overseas, they tend to not be familiar with the US culture. And there's certainly a risk of tax and legal non-compliance. You don't really know who you're working with. In nearshoring, you're working with a border country, Mexico. There's proximity. This proximity allows closeness and ease in communication. You're in the same time zone. If you're working with the right partner, they're offering fair salaries and employees are working exclusively for one client. Employees receive all benefits required by law, and if working again with the right partner, they get additional benefits. There's more of a cultural affinity being a border country, definitely. And if your partner is transparent and 100% compliant, this definitely eliminates the risk for you. So some benefits of nearshoring. There's a higher level of collaboration being in the same time zone and sharing the workday hours. You're saving up to 70% in salaries compared to the US. And again, if you have a good nearshore partner, they will deliver the English fluency and cultural affinity you need. How many times have I mentioned now a good partner? I think that is crucial, and we'll touch upon it towards the end. But which solution offers the best advantage? It depends on what your business needs, but one clearly stacks up higher than the other. That's what we're here for today. Really insourcing nearshore talent. So nearshoring offers a geographical proximity that your company needs, and it can make travel easy for in-person meetings or events, which is a huge benefit. Scaling up has never been as cost efficient as now. Adrian, I see you wanting to add something.
Yeah, so just because I don't want it to sound like a commercial here, if you're running a business and you're looking to maximizing your savings, if you're running a startup and you just need some extra help for just a few hours a week with graphic design or whatever, you could go to offshoring over there in the Philippines, hire a Filipino for, I don't know, $600 a month. And if you're looking at, if you're looking at saving 90% compared to the US salary range, now you're gonna have to go or handle the challenges that come with doing that. For example, obviously they're working in an opposite time schedule, but the things that bother me the most, because I have employees in other, even Latin American countries, is that I call, whatever is his name, and I say, hey, let's jump on a Zoom right now so we can talk about this project. And they're like, oh, I don't have electricity right now, or my internet is not working, or there's a storm and I cannot go to my office or to my house, or so there's a bunch of issues around that. And then there are also cultural differences. Like in the US, you want people that are, able to just connect face to face and speak up and share ideas and build that type of culture where everybody chimes in. And in many other cultures, you'll find people that are even shy to just, look at your eyes or speak up or share an idea. So if you're looking to save a lot of money, 70%, I think it's a lot of money in savings, and you don't want to go through the struggles of, handling or all of those issues and challenges, hire in Mexico. That's the easiest way to do it. There are obviously some things you need to know about hiring in Mexico, because it's not just like I'm gonna hire a dude in Mexico and I'm gonna wire him money or I'm gonna send him money through PayPal, because you're creating a big issue for the employee and for yourself. I don't want to get technical here, and I don't want Erika to spend a lot of time on those slides, but if you do that, you're creating a huge tax and legal risk for both parties. So it's not like 5 years ago where you could just send money through PayPal and that's it. It's not. We have a lot of clients that already have employees that have been paying them through PayPal, and now they know the risk, or they've had some issues, and they're trying to bring the employees into what we call a PEO, which is Capitaworks Mexico, the Mexican entity. So you gotta be really like careful, because there's a lot of benefits, but if you don't handle this correctly, there's also a lot of liabilities involved.
Yeah.
So that would be my.
Definitely. You'd be surprised at how many people do that, especially in California.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, of course, there are virtual assistants for every industry, for real estate, professional services firms, marketing, and really anybody, like Adrian said, that's looking to grow and save up to 70% in salaries, especially in this talent shortage that we're experiencing. So some roles that I think offer a good comparison for an average in the US and average in Mexico. This is monthly, by the way. So executive assistants, customer service reps, graphic designers, and marketing assistants. We personally at Capitaworks, like Adrian said, 60% of our requests are in the marketing area. And then after that, I would say customer service for sure. We've seen an increase in demand for our clients in customer service roles. So those are being very, very, very requested. As you can see in the notes down here, the average data is taken from Indeed and Glassdoor for the US. It's not fully loaded, so it's not the gross salary. For the Mexican numbers, it is a fully loaded salary. So this is net salary, taxes, mandatory benefits, additional benefits, training, and commission. Anything you want to add to this, Adrian? Wonderful. So just as I mentioned earlier, I think one of the most important things, and on the same, I guess, note that Adrian mentioned of, we've had clients come to us because they've been paying their employees under the table just through a wire, and they now want to do it legally. We've had a lot of clients that have worked with PEOs in Mexico who haven't had a great experience. And that's why I mentioned so many times the importance of finding the right partner. And again, this is not to sell ourselves or sounded like a commercial, like Adrian said, but it's more to really do your homework and just be transparent with your partner and what your expectations are. So some of the advantages of working with us is we have Capitaworks, our US entity. We're insured in the US for general liability, EPLI, cyber and crime. And Capitaworks Mexico, our PEO, hires the employees. So we have a personalized recruitment process. We're in the same time zone-ish. We are in Pacific, but we do have employees everywhere. So that's great. The employees are definitely treated like VIPs. We offer training and development. If you're running on EOS, no problem. We offer an EOS, I don't want to say master class, but master class as part of our e-learning platform. We definitely have impactful CSR programs, and we don't cut corners. So basically, just to close this out, I know we're approaching the time. There's really no need to stunt your growth simply because you can't find the right talent locally or in the US. Essentially, time is money, and increase your return on time. The market won't wait for you, and neither will your competitor. Really take advantage of the resources you have, just being, bordered with a few countries. And this is really new talent. It's talent to leverage, nurture, and scale. So, like we mentioned earlier, your people are your most important asset. We will have 5 years of intense competition for talent, and growth can't wait 5 years. And that's pretty much it.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for putting that together for us. So that was fascinating, and so much so that everyone was laser focused on this presentation, and we have no no Q's in our chat for this Q&A. So who would like to go ahead and I figure we can probably just do this maybe like a little popcorn style. So, oh, here we go. Angela, what is the average turnover rate? Says Angela. Great, here they come. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so it's 1 digit. And the reason is that we currently manage over 200 BAs. We normally have, I would say, like 1 BA leaving the company a month. And usually it's because they're BAs that are in the trial period, which according to Mexican labor law, we have 90 days or up to 90 days to decide whether we want to keep the BA or not. So remember, the BAs already went through a recruitment process. They were very well vetted. The final interview is directly with you guys as the client, but you know, surprises still happen. Sometimes we hire people that we really have high hopes, and then they don't perform, or they don't integrate correctly to the culture of your business, whatever it is. So we have 90 days to really ask for a replacement. So usually the BAs that we have to let go are within the trial period. And normally it's because a lack of communication. We do a BA survey every year, which is very, very profound. And we found that the main issue with some of our clients is that the client doesn't have a very good communication system. So they're not very well acquainted with having people working in other places. So I really recommend having a good communication system, a good reporting system, whether it's, I don't know if you're like managing your teams based on time, but in our case, we really focus more on performance and results. So having a good scorecard, having your daily huddles, having your weekly meeting, however you call it. So if you have a good system around your VA, that will work. So just in general, we have a very, very low, how do you call it?
Turnover.
Yeah, turnover.
Hey, okay, great. Could we end the screen share also?
Oh yeah, of course.
I'd love just to see Adrian in the full HD.
There we go.
As he's answering and sharing all of this knowledge, both of you guys. You know, Adrian, just to comment on that, I love that, and hopefully the pandemic provided all of us with an opportunity to get a lot better at that. I know that I have used assistants in the past that were not local, and it was not always the best experience, and I'm 100% to blame. Like, I didn't have the right processes in place to really manage that as well as I could have. So I just love that you said that. Is a lot of times like, is the turnover really because the person is not the right person, or is it because there isn't really the right system in place?
I agree with that. And you know what? It all starts since the onboarding process, because once the employee, that first couple of weeks are crucial, because that really gets the employee like pumping, or they get really, disappointed, and they don't feel connected to the team. But on the other hand, if you look at our survey, most of the BAs really, you would see comments like, oh, thank you, Capitaworks, for giving me this opportunity. I'm blessed. I love working with your client in the US. They're like 100% committed to, giving everything they got. So, I really love it, because we're delivering on that promise to everyone, not only our clients, but also the BAs. We're providing opportunity for the community. We're giving back to orphan kids. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. So that's what I really love about it. There are a few more questions here.
Yeah, Beth asks, are the employees 1099 contractors?
No. You don't want that. No. So the employees, so just so you understand the structure of how everything works. Your business in the US signs a contract, a services contract with Capitaworks US. So we're just a regular vendor to your business. We're providing services to your business. Now, Capitaworks US hires Capitaworks Mexico, who's a PEO, and Capitaworks Mexico has the employees on its payroll. So that reduces any type of liability and also makes it 100 tax deductible in the US without having to file any 1099s or whatever, and being subject to claims or stuff like that. So we really try to protect, and I mean, FYI, my biggest company is a tax consulting firm. So we really try to protect our clients and the BAs as well from any sort of liability, especially taxation liabilities.
Matt asks, how have you seen this work with a full-time writer, SEO employee, and then also for sales and telemarketing?
Yeah, great. So those are a few of the most requested positions. We have a lot of marketing agencies as clients that are hiring through us, and then they're basically using the employees to provide services in the US to their clients. Or we have clients that are fractional CMOs and they're hiring talent through us, and they're reselling those employees in the US to their clients. SEO specialists, paid media, all of that are very common for us. And full-time writers, that usually takes a little more time to recruit because of the English proficiency that we're looking for. But just to give you an example of this, the president of the EO Seattle chapter, who writes a lot of articles for Forbes magazine, he has his copywriter in Tijuana through us. So that's the level of expertise that we can find.
Awesome. Rosemary asks, have you had clients experience any IT security issues or challenges? And she explains that they have a very detailed, looks like cloud-based server, high security standards, and working with HIPAA protected info.
Yeah, so no, we haven't had any type of issues whatsoever. We do have clients in the medical field. So I mean, we understand that. Now, honestly, a Mexican employee won't even care about that information. It's not like in the US, you might want to use that information for different purposes, illegal purposes. In Mexico, I mean, we don't even care who's, John Doe or whatever. Now, as a company, we have US insurance. So we have cybersecurity insurance, crime insurance, and all types of expensive insurance. So if something would happen, our policies would come in there.
Arnie asks, what is the timeline from the initial need until fulfillment?
Yeah, so we're aiming at, Erica will kill me if I say 2 weeks, but I'm gonna say 3 weeks just to be safe, and I'm safe because I'm in a different city than Erica right now. But our average recruitment time is from 2 to 3 weeks. It depends on the position, because if it's a very common one, we already have a strong pipeline coming in every day, and we might be able to fill it up quickly. The average is, let's just leave it at 3 weeks. If you're looking for a web developer, if you're looking for a very specialized copywriter, something that's really, really specialized, that might take a little longer, especially programmers, web developers, that could take 4, 5, 6 weeks. But that the average time we're looking at is 3 weeks. Now, it all depends also on the client, because sometimes we have the candidates ready for the final interview with their client, and the client is non-responsive. Sorry guys, I'm on vacation. I'll interview the candidate next week. And then the candidate, if it's high quality talent, they're getting opportunities every single day. So they're not going to be waiting around for a week. So we really try to push our clients into doing those interviews quickly, so we don't lose those opportunities of hiring.
Okay, Karen put a link to the survey in the chat, by the way, and just a reminder for all of our chapter members, it's super helpful for you guys to fill those out. Your feedback just helps our chapter keep making sure we're delivering value for everybody. And side note, you know what? Our chapter is just so awesome. Adrian and Erica, I just want you guys to know that you are presenting just in front of the best chapter ever. And our girls, I mean, Marla and Samira and Karen and everyone, there's so many people that keep all the trains running on time. And wow, I feel so lucky to be a part of it.
Between you guys and I always tell Erica that, I mean, we've been, working with a lot of VO chapters and all of that. Nashville is one of the newest chapters we sponsor, but for me, it's my favorite chapter. And I really love the people, especially the people. I think it's the type of people I like being around to do business with. So, I mean, that's why I've been in Nashville like 4 times in the last 2 months. So next week, I'm just gonna stay a few extra days. Yes.
Awesome. So a couple more questions. Arnie continues, roughly speaking, at current, how many positions is your firm filling per month?
So between 20 and 25 filling, but right now we have 51, 52 job openings.
Yeah.
So we're getting in like 10 or 15 requests per month, per week.
Mhm.
And we're increasing our recruitment team and all of that, but we're feeling like 25 per month. Olio, baby. So
Yeah. I think if I check my email right now, I'm pretty sure I have 7 more requests.
yeah, so
Just
it's
overnight.
basically EOers, referrals. Most of our business is coming from existing clients from EO that are referring us to other clients, even if they're outside EO. But for me, that's a great indicator because our clients are very happy and they are referring to other businesses. But the foundation of Capitaworks is EO.
Great. Angela asks what she says, we currently work with VAs and have found the most success when the virtual team member works with us via Zoom in roundtable during business hours, i.e. jumping on around 9, log on around 9, log out around 5. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? Do you have clients that operate?
Yeah, so we have a client from, I think it's Seattle, where, and it's 60-year-old lady with a marketing agency that hired a VA in Tijuana for like a marketing coordinator, and she asked for the VA to have the webcam on the entire day so she could be looking at the employee the entire day. Personally, I think that's a little too much. I wouldn't like to be working and feeling like I have the big brother there looking at me the entire day. But again, every VA adjusts to your culture. If you do a good job of bringing the VA into your culture and they understand why you do it and they believe in why you do it, then it's gonna work out. If you're just turn on your webcam or log into Zoom because I want to be looking at you all day and there's no reason behind it or there's not any good logic behind it, the VA will probably don't like it, and probably he or she is gonna be quitting the job soon. But if it's working for you, I think what's working is the way you're explaining it to your employees and the dynamic you have around that. So if it's working for you, great. You can keep doing it. I mean, the VA
Agreed.
wouldn't have an issue with that.
Agreed. Transparency is key.
Yeah.
Adrian, you actually mentioned something. So if our VA decides to quit or it's not the right fit, what does the process look like for you guys helping to refill that position?
Yeah, if it happens during the trial period, initial 90 days, which is a lot because as business owners, we really, can decide if an employee is good like that. But we have 90 days, which is a lot of time. Now, if we need to replace the VA, we just, basically terminate that VA and we reset the recruitment process, which, probably will take less time than the first time. And we don't charge for the recruitment process at all. So we would just replace the VA and reset the process. Now, if the VA finishes the trial period, the VA becomes under labor law kind of a permanent employee, which means that there's 2 ways to terminate an employee in the future. If it's a justified reason, like the employee not showing up or the employee showing up drunk, or there are specific reasons, we can terminate the employee legally with no liabilities involved. If you just want to terminate the employee because I don't know, business is not going well or whatever, then we can terminate the employee, but the major risk is having to pay up to 3 months in severance pay. That's the biggest risk. Most times, I would say 99% of the times in my 12 years in business, we settle with the employee and we give them 1 month of severance pay and they go away happy. So that's the way we handle it. The important thing here to know is that all of the admin and HR stuff, we have to handle it. So our client is not able to do a warning, for example. If the client wants to write a warning down, they have to come to us so we can write it down and file it, because we are the employers of record in Mexico. If you start handling HR stuff on your own, then you're creating liability, because then the employee has information about or sufficient proof that they are working for 2 different companies. So all of that admin HR stuff always has to be handled through us. But it's very practical, yeah, once we're doing it.
So that 90-day rule then, Adrian, does that mean that filling positions that are seasonal or temporary or project-based is probably not the right fit for this?
No, if it's like project-based or whatever, we have resources internally that we could provide for project-based work. But if it's like something that, I know, it's a very small project or whatever, then, then it's a good time to outsource it or to, hire someone from Upwork or something like that. In our case, we don't want to deal with that type of employees or work. We're only doing full-time employees, because at the beginning of Capitaworks, we were offering part-time, 20 hours per week. And then the clients that hired BAs part-time, by the second month, they were asking of bringing the employee full-time to their companies. But then the employee was already working for a second employer, a second company, a second client, or they were doing other stuff and they were not able to work full-time. So, for me, it makes a lot of sense. If I'm saving 70% and I'm getting a great employee, I'll just find things to do, or I'll just focus on growing so I can keep providing more work to my employee.
Great.
Good question from Joel.
Yeah, before that one, Beth asked, she says, the responsibility for training and finding the employee that fits our culture falls on us. However, are your employees that are pre-screened highly skilled in email marketing, such as MailChimp and social media?
Yeah, so we are able to screen and vet all candidates from basically every type of background or role. And once the employee is hired, it's up to the client to keep providing continuous training, technical training, I would say, because Capitaworks, what we do over here is that we give the employees access to an e-learning platform with over 400 training courses, and that's on demand. And then we also provide quarterly live training focused on soft skills. So we're training employees to be better in leadership skills, communication skills, things like that. So the technical part is up to you in terms of training, but we're taking care of the other side.
Great. And Joel asked, how is the internet stability in Mexico?
Yeah.
What is the contingency plan if a VA's internet goes down?
Okay, so just so you know, my internet connection in my Tijuana office or home is much better than the one that.
No way. There's no way
Like,
that he froze as he's answering that question. Is that a joke? Is that a prank?
No, I'm actually getting that your internet connection is unstable, and I'm in San Diego. Has that happened to Erika, who's in Tijuana right now? So there's your
I can
answer.
also vouch for
There's your
that.
answer.
The internet in his home office and in his home in Tijuana is a lot better. I mean, you just saw it live. Yeah, and that was not planned.
But I don't blame you, Joel. We have clients from other cities that have asked Erika. We have universities in Tijuana, so yeah. So we do have universities. We do have reliable internet. We do have computers. So yeah. I mean, there's no no issue with that. I mean, some clients, just because they prefer, they send out equipment to the VA. Like they would send out computers, headsets, phones, whatever, and then you can ship all of that equipment to our office in San Diego, and we'll drive it down to Tijuana the next business day, and we'll have the employee sign a document and all of that. In case we ever fire the employee, we retrieve the equipment. But 70% of our clients like to send, laptops or even like gifts, company swag, all of that, and you can just ship it to our office in San Diego.
Wonderful. Okay, so with that, let's jump to our breakouts. And a couple of quick reminders. As we break out here, each group will need to assign a moderator. And that moderator will just kind of help the conversation keep moving and get everyone involved. We have 2 prompt questions. The first, did you come to the exchange this morning realizing jobs are available with nearshoring talent? What is a takeaway? Second, have you ever had experience with VAs or nearshoring other roles?